The Kalahari Boundary Station processes 42,000 registered transits a day. Freighters, passenger liners, survey vessels, diplomatic couriers, the full commercial blood of 43 settled systems, flowing in and out of Seoul, through 180 kilometers of processing bays, customs locks, and inspection galleries, built into the rock of a captured planetoid at the outer edge of the transit corridor. I have been director of this station for 31 years. Before me, Director Solon Parath held the post for 29. Before her, Director Kale Verath, my great-uncle, whose portrait hangs in the corridor outside my office, held it for 34. The post has been continuously crewed for 840,000 years. That number means something specific in this work. It means that every vessel crossing the outer boundary has been logged, classified, and cleared, or flagged, by a human hand and a human mind, in an unbroken succession of shifts, for longer than most of the civilizations currently holding compact membership have existed. Our archives run 31 petabytes of raw transit data. The oldest entries are in a script that predates modern compact standard by 400,000 years. We have archivists who do nothing but read them. The veth-naraan made first contact with Earth 840,000 years ago. Theirs was a quiet contact. One vessel, no flags, no declared registration. They pinged our outer boundary on a frequency 11 Hz off standard and did not respond to hail. They departed the same day. The boundary grid logged it as entry class indeterminate, vessel origin unknown, and filed it in the open case stack. 12 years later, our analysts had reverse engineered the frequency deviation. It was not a malfunction. It was a signature, a transponder ghost, designed to pass cursory inspection while remaining 11 Hz removed from declared standard, the kind of signature you build when you intend to come back. We opened a new case file. We have been adding to it ever since. 840,000 years of ghost pings, 11 distinct vessel profiles, all veth-naraan, all running the same 11 Hz deviation, each one a little more refined than the last, each one testing how far into the transit corridor it could reach before we registered the anomaly. They are thorough. I will give them that. Over 800 millennia, they worked the deviation down to 4 Hz. Their current disguise, a spoofed registration borrowed from a decommissioned human cargo line called Halvern Transit, is the best they have produced. It cleared our outer boundary grid in 4.7 seconds. It was flagged in 4.8. I was in my office reading the morning transit digest when my senior analyst, Keth Solon, put his head through the door. He did not need to say anything. He simply set a single data card on the edge of my desk, the case file summary, all 840,000 years of it compressed to a 300-page operational digest, and waited. I picked it up. I read the last 3 pages. Bay 41, I said. Bay 41, he confirmed. I told him to let them dock. There is a particular quality to the moment when a thing that has been building for longer than you can truly hold in your mind arrives at its resolution. It does not feel large, it feels exact. The station hummed around me as I walked the central corridor toward the processing galleries, the same hum it has made for 840,000 years, the deep resonance of the boundary grid cycling through its 60-second sweep, the way the pressure in the lower bays changes when a ship locks to a berth. I have walked this corridor 10,000 times. The lights were the same lights. The air was the same recycled air that has moved through these passages since before my grandmother's grandmother was born. The vessel, running the Halvern Transit call sign, logged as Halvern 7, carrying a declared manifest of compressed rare earth aggregate, bound for Solon processing node, crew of 4, docked at Bay 41, at 0614 station time, standard docking, standard umbilical lock. The crew presented papers at the customs threshold, with the unhurried ease of people who believed they were invisible. They are not large, the veth-naraan. Their natural form is compact, bipedal, bilaterally symmetric, in a way that makes the disguise easier than it sounds. In 840,000 years of logged contact, we have never confirmed a direct physical encounter, only the vessel profiles, the frequency signatures, the ghost pings. Every analyst who has ever worked this case file has noted the same thing in their final report. The veth-naraan do not believe they can be seen. That belief is the foundation of everything they do. It is also the reason the case file is 840,000 years long and not 840,000 years and 1 day. I came into Bay 41 through the service entrance and stood behind the customs partition while my senior inspector walked them through the standard declaration sequence: cargo manifest, origin documentation, crew credentials. The four of them answered in clipped, correct compact standard, with the mild impatience of contract haulers who have made this run before. Their papers were immaculate. Every filed detail matched a real decommissioned cargo line, a real historical crew roster, real transit records going back 1,100 years. They had done the work. I waited until all four of them had cleared the declaration threshold and stepped into the holding gallery. Then I came around the partition. I set the data card on the processing table between us. Not the 300-page digest. The full case file, physical archive index, 31 petabytes flagged to the summary terminal on the table's surface, 840,000 years of logged contacts organized by vessel profile and frequency deviation, cross-referenced to the 11 distinct entry attempts, annotated by 3,412 analysts in succession across 40 generations of boundary archivists. I gave them a moment to read the header. Entry class indeterminate, vessel origin unknown, I said. Opened in the 400th year of the third compact calendar. Your first visit. I touched the terminal. This is the 43rd entry in the active file. Your most recent visit, before today, was logged 11 years ago. A 4 Hz deviation this time, an improvement over your previous 6 Hz profile. We appreciate the craftsmanship. None of them moved. I watched the calculation run behind their eyes. The same calculation every being runs when the floor drops. Assess, reassess, determine whether the door is still open. There was no door. There had not been a door since year 12, when the first analyst wrote the words, signature, not malfunction in the open case margin, and opened the active file. Compact Authority Protocol 7, I said. Non-military infiltration, civilian customs jurisdiction. Your vessel is impounded pending compact review. Your persons are in administrative custody pending identity confirmation and case processing. You are not being charged with an act of war. You are being processed as an undeclared transit in violation of Boundary Charter Article 6, Paragraph 19, the same article that has applied to your profile for 840,000 years. One of them, the one who had presented the cargo manifest, the one with the mild impatience, said something in a frequency just below compact standard. Not aggressive. Honest, I thought. The sound of a person saying something true for the first time. I do not speak veth-naraan, but Keth Solon, who has worked this case file for 22 years, was standing behind me. He translated it afterward. What they said was, "We did not know you could see us." I thought about that for a long time afterward. Not with anger. Anger would have been the wrong register entirely, the way a surgeon feels no anger at a fracture. What I felt was closer to the satisfaction of a long proof resolved. The specific, clean completion of a thing done correctly over a span of time so vast it resists language. We could see them from year 12. We had simply never told them. The case file is 840,000 years old. It contains 31 petabytes of logged contacts, 11 vessel profiles, 43 entries, and the annotation notes of 3,412 analysts who each, in their own way, did the same thing. Read the file from the beginning, added their line to the record, and passed it to the next hand. The oldest annotation is in a script I cannot read without a translation tool. The most recent, before mine, was written by the analyst 2 posts before Keth Solon, a woman named Davin Parath, who retired 19 years ago, and who, I am told, checked the boundary grid every morning of her retirement from a terminal in her home on the Kalahari Plateau, just to see. I added mine that evening, 43 words, which is more than I usually write. Then I walked the central corridor back to my office, listened to the boundary grid cycle through its 60-second sweep, and read the morning transit digest. 42,000 registered transits, processed and cleared. The station hummed, the same hum it has made for 840,000 years. We were always watching,